San Academy Pallikaranai, Class 7 Science. This is part 2 video of Chapter 10, Respiration in Organisms. Breathing. Breathing can be defined as a process in which organisms, with the help of their respiratory organs, take the oxygen-rich air present in the surroundings and release out air that contains high amount of carbon dioxide in it. Breathing occurs continuously in the organisms. Inhalation, the process of taking the air that contains oxygen inside the body. Exhalation is the process of releasing out the air that contains carbon dioxide of the body. So inhalation and exhalation takes place alternatively in the breathing process. Next is breathing rate. Breathing rate can be defined as the number of times a person breathes in a minute. A breath can be defined as an inhalation followed by exhalation. The breathing rate is not always constant in human beings. So generally breathe faster when our body needs more energy, for example while exercising, weightlifting, etc. So in this picture, these are the various activities. In these various activities, the breathing rate differs. This is so because the body needs more oxygen that can break down the food and produce more energy. An average adult human being breathes 15 to 18 times in a minute. While exercising, this rate can change up to 25 times a minute. How do we breathe? The respiratory system helps in breathing. So the main parts of the respiratory system are nostrils, nasal cavity, windpipe, lungs, and the diaphragm. Breathing involves the rib cage and the muscular sheath below the chest cavity called the diaphragm. So during the inhalation process, that is breathing in, the chest cavity increases the size and the diaphragm moves down and the air enters into the lungs. During exhalation, breathing out, the chest cavity reduces in size, the diaphragm moves up and the air is pushed out of the lungs. So normally we take in air through the nostrils. When we inhale air, the air passes through our nostrils into the nasal cavity. From the nasal cavity, the air reaches the lungs through the windpipe. Lungs are present in the chest cavity. This chest cavity is surrounded by ribs on both sides. A large muscular sheet called diaphragm forms the floor of the chest cavity. Breathing in and breathing out, when the air is inhaled, the chest expands and the abdomen expands and the diaphragm contracts. In the breathing out, that is exhalation process, the chest contracts, the diaphragm relaxes and the abdomen contracts. So this is the breathing in and breathing out process. So as we discussed, during breathing in, two processes occur, that is muscle between the ribs contract, causing the rib cage to move upward and outward, while the diaphragm contracts and moves downwards. As the chest cavity becomes larger, it sucks air from outside the lungs and the lungs get filled up with air and expand. Breathing out or exhalation. So when we breathe out the air or exhale, it's a reverse process in as compared to breathing in. So what happens? The rib cage moves downward and inward, while the diaphragm releases and moves upward. So this downward movement of the rib cage and upward movement of the diaphragm decreases the space in the chest cavity and makes it smaller. And then the air is pushed out of the lungs. So this is the breathing in and breathing out process. This is a model to show the mechanism of breathing. How do we breathe out? We can just do it with a small activity. Take a small test tube and pour some lime water into it. Insert a plastic straw into the lime water. Blow air through the straw into the lime water. The lime water turns milky. This shows that the air we breathe out contains carbon dioxide and moisture. So take a mirror and blow on the mirror. A film of moisture is formed on the mirror. So this shows that the air we breathe contains also moisture. What happens when we sneeze? As we inhale the air present in the surroundings, sometimes various unwanted elements such as smoke and dust are also included in it. However, they get stuck in the air in our nostrils, and some of them get through the nasal cavity. Thus, it got irritation in the nasal cavity, which makes us sneeze. And when we sneeze, it get rid of the unwanted particles of the nasal cavity. So when we see the percentage of oxygen and carbon dioxide in inhale and exhale air, 21% inhale air, 21% oxygen and 0.04% carbon dioxide. Exhale air, 16.4% oxygen and 4.4% carbon dioxide. Thank you, children.